Hello, this is Zeke777, and welcome back to Simply Magic 2, episode 42. Don't panic, we have lots in store for today. Let's start off by going over a little bit of what's behind me here. You can see I've added a couple things to our little cake factory here. These green lines going down, those are growth lenses from Astral Sorcery. I love how that works. As you can see, it grows them back pretty much instantly. Yeah, you just aim it directly at the stalk of the pumpkin here, and as you can see, the pumpkin pretty much grows immediately. So that means it's spending more time, let's keep that fly up, it's spending more time being turned into cake than it is actually sitting here waiting for a pumpkin to even grow. Previous issues I had of needing to face north, not an issue because when the pumpkin is grown naturally, or as naturally as this is, yay growth hormone, when it's grown naturally here, it'll always face north, therefore it will always work. So we get guaranteed 4 cakes each time. We could ride that down, but last time I tried riding the teleposer, it ended up teleporting me underground, like under bedrock, and I fell in the void. Yeah. Luckily for me, it still spawns your grave above ground, which is very handy. But yeah, got that going. We've got a couple of these rituals, not ritual, little multi-block thing set up. And then it's just aimed into lots of lenses, speeds everything up. Oh look, cake. That guy should turn pretty soon here. Come on. This side's a little bit slower. I think my lenses are not quite balanced equally. The two crystals are not identical anyway, so one side does get a little bit more power than the other. But come on, go ahead. Come on. Any second now. Don't make me come down there. Yep. And of course, missed it. Yeah, already growing again, but whatever. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. That's growing quite nicely. I will be swapping out these guys as I get more advanced crystals. These were kind of what I had available at the time. I think one of these is actually Mineralis, which is not that useful. I mean, it's useful and all. Over here, we've got crystal that's just kind of, I've got it aimed at these light wells. Let's throw a little bit more aquamarine in here. Celestial crystals are better, but I do have an entire box full of aquamarine here, and yeah, 158 buckets there. I wanted to go over this guy here. My Avitas crystal from before, of size 369, purity 57, and 72 cutting. That thing got me a grand total of 104 buckets, which is awesome. So yes, cool. Definitely using that. What else? I think that's pretty much it for my upgrades up here. I do plan on kind of renovating the entire area. You can see here I've got the 4 little attunement altars set up. I'm going to be only having one. In fact, that's kind of on the agenda for today. As well as I'm going to clean up my redstone little testing area here. But yeah, let's go ahead and dig in. I did want to give an update on our ore processing facility down here. It's working. It's working quite well, actually. We have, I think, now 40 stacks of gold up there, which is pretty awesome. Or maybe it's 40 blocks. 40 blocks of gold. That's it. Yeah, not 40 stacks. That'd be a lot. One issue I'm having with this is it uses a lot of iron. Like a ton. I did have to kind of pad my numbers by I summoned a couple ore meteors, mostly for iron. But for the most part, this place is working pretty well. This guy here is just gonna, basically I just wanted to fill the whole thing up. You've got all your metallum up there, you are full, everything's full, Ordo's almost full. This is full. Yeah, because this system alone, just sitting here full, don't want to teleport because that will kill me. This system, as it sits here, this is like probably 4 or 5 stacks of iron, just like in the system at all times. I could drop this down to only a few ingots of iron here, but it's still, there's a lot just sitting here in storage really. That being said, it is working quite well for processing everything. It seems to be keeping up decently well. Little golem running around. Yeah, but it does chew through a lot of iron. I'm going to let this sit here for a while and just kind of monitor it, see how it does. Last I checked, I think I had 45 blocks of iron, so we're going to let it sit for a bit and kind of see where that number goes. If it starts drifting down, then we'll have to figure out something. If it drifts up, then that's perfectly acceptable with me. Since the plan is that we're going to be cleaning up the redstone area up here, probably moving the pumpkin to cake creator there, as well as just kind of general cleaning up here, I wanted to go over what we actually have going on. So this has been kind of in the background, I haven't really talked about it, but yeah. So this is a encoding circuit. The plan is that you have 15 going in, and then with each of these, whether they're on or off, we'll subtract however many it's set for. So for instance, this one here, I've got set to subtract 1, this one to subtract 2, 4, and 8. Well, what's the purpose? Well, basically, the way that Redstone works is it's kind of a hex system. There's a maximum, it's 0 through 15, so that can kind of correspond to just hexadecimal. What we have here then is binary. And right now I have 0 off, 1 on, 2 off, and 3 on. So this is 1, 2, 4, 8. And over here, I have a decoder. You can see it has the same lighting system. It is reversed, so this is 8, then 4, 2, and 1. And if we go over here and flip the switch on, or rather flip it off, you'll see it takes a little bit to reset, but that over there now matches again. So we can flip him back on, flip you off. So these should have 3 on, and the first 3 are on. So yeah, that works. It's kind of a complicated system over here. This checks to see whether or not this signal is greater than 8. And if it is greater than 8, then we subtract 8 from it. So then it'll turn this light on. Yeah, it's kind of a useless system here. It's really just kind of a little experiment in encoding binary and decimal. But the purpose for this, and what I'd actually plan on using this for, probably not in this world because I don't really have a use for it with Corporea commanding everything anyway, you could use this for turning 4 different systems on or off. So say back at your base, you have an encoder saying, hey, I need more wood. So then this light turns on. Well, I don't need any more cobblestone, so we can turn that one off. What'll happen is over at the actual production facilities, it'll say, oh, wood, turn the wood production line on, and turn the cobblestone line off. So what that allows you to do then is you can transmit 4 different on-off signals through one single redstone line. It's kind of a slow system because I have lots of these comparators going through, but certain mods like I believe it's Immersive Engineering, they have a redstone wire where it's basically unlimited travel distance and each wire can hold 16 different channels. So a single wire can then hold 64 different on-off signals, which is pretty awesome. Does nothing here, but it's kind of a cool system that I wanted to just do some experimenting with and had the room and the resources, so why not do it here? But all that being said, I don't need the system anymore. This is just a kind of experimentation thing, so bye-bye. Breaking everything. Yep. Like I said, I wanted to clean this area up. At some point, I don't know if that'll be this world or not, I've always wanted to kind of build a redstone testing lab where I could kind of have a button that will just reset the whole area. Something to do at some point, but kind of just a random side project. Anyway, let me clear this out. Quick little progress update. Tore out all the redstone and also removed 2 of the altars that we had set up. It's kind of ugly right now. Just gonna be dirt for a little bit. It'll turn to grass eventually. My plan is we're gonna have 1 altar and it's gonna be centered. For now, I'm just keeping this all here because it has kind of my storage stuff as well as keeping that one because that's where my actual Attunement altar is. Yeah, so let me do a little bit of kind of doodling around in Paint and figure out if I can get a nice little system set up. Alrighty, so here's the wish list. I've got kind of, I think, 5 main areas that I need to build here. I've got this area here, which is for growing the crystals. So they're ready, the crystals I like, high purity, all that, and this is just getting the size up. So that's 1. This area over here is for actually creating the crystals. So that's going to be, I'll toss a crystal I don't like with some dust in there, turn it into a crystal cluster thingy, and then mine it and all that stuff. Let's see, I also need this one here, which is for refining the crystals into more starlight, which I then used for the other 2 parts. That's going to need an area as well. I also need this area here. I need an attunement altar as well as some automation for that. And last but not least, I need pumpkins. So that is the plan. Gotta figure out where to put them all. So I think what we can do is start by just laying things out. So I know I need an attunement altar, which is going to be 19 by 19. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I think I'm going to move it over here a bit, and it's going to be just centered on this whole little island area. So it's there, and then that only goes to here, which gives me quite a lot of room. So I think what I can then do, if I do, so that's halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? I believe that's, yeah, because that'll be 20 by 20-ish. So very roughly, that's going to go there, which gives me this much room to have one automation on this side, another on that side, and I think we can go from there. Yeah, I think that works. We've got a few things going on here. If you can see, I tore out most of the whole structure around here, and I put in this new altar in the middle. So let's fly up here so we can get kind of bird's eye view. So in the middle here is going to be our main altar. We're actually only going to have one up here. These two little, I guess, pods or whatever here are going to be for a little wireless redstone trick that I came up with. It'll be kind of fun. And that's going to be, I'll be able to press a button and it will then swap out the altar that's here. So I've got room for 5 things here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then walls, which kind of temporary block for now. It's what I had on me. So we'll have 5 signs here actually. So it'll be like Avitas and I don't know the rest of them, but I know Avitas. So we're going to have 5 on that side, 5 on this side. This altar is going to go away, but for now I'm just going to keep it. You're going to move. Don't know where. It's going to be kind of a pain to move around, but we'll figure out a spot for you. Yeah, so it's kind of a little progress update there. Tore out everything, rebuilt all stuff, and once these guys are all done turning into starlight, once those are done, can we fly? There we go. Once those are done, I can then tear that out and relocate you as well. Now, this structure over here, so the ritual is it's going to go away. The gems here are going to be growing probably along the side here. I'll probably have one side for growing them, one for creating them, breeding them, whatever. And yeah, so I'm just going to kind of clear out a bit of space and start on this wireless project. So the first star of the show is going to be the red string interceptor. What this does is, there should be, oh, it ran out of living rock. More living rock. Stack. Living rock. Okay, let's try that again. So we want 10 of these, 1 for each of them. And what this guy does is, let me show you. Let's place down our red string interceptor. If I can scroll, there we go. Red string interceptor goes here, and we're going to have just a wall in front of it. Doesn't really matter what it is. And if we take our redstone box here, so I have something to actually see this with, I need some redstone, and I also need my signs. So out of the back here, we have some wire coming along, just so we can see it. And if we throw a sign in the front here, test. If we right click that, you can see it turns on. The redstone over here flashes. And actually I realized I don't want a sign. Signs are cool and all, except that since it does have the editable signs on here, it's going to be a little obnoxious if I always have the edit sign message. Test. So that's not going to work for a sign, but I believe I have other types of signs in here. Let's see, I have fancy signs. Let's see what these guys do. I need a sign, a label, and a paper. Let me go grab that. Alrighty, let's give this a shot. So we have our labels here. Let's go ahead and make some oak fancy signs. Should have good enough. I think I wanted 10, but that's okay. We're going to just test it for now, make sure that this does what we want it to do. Break you. Thank you. We have oak fancy sign. If I right click you, do you flash? You do flash. Perfect. Just a little 1-tick pulse, you can hear it. Click. Awesome. So that's going to work. I think if we shift right click, probably with an empty hand. Break you. If I shift right click, I believe I can edit this. So let's say Avitas. And we're going to make you big. Perfect. Avitas. I'll center it later. If I right click, you pulse. Awesome. Now we get to start on the fun part. So let's break out this because I don't really need a wall in the front for now. But we're going to have our wall here. Actually, you know, just kidding, I do need a wall. Because on this side here, I need to be able to place my red string. Actually, let's see. It'll go here. So break you again. Just kidding. There we go. Sorry about that lag spike there. So red string interceptor goes in the front. 4, 5. Then we have our blocks in front of that, which can be whatever. Might just use regular. Might use marble. I haven't really decided on the color for that. Then back here, we don't want these anymore. Be nice if you actually disappear when I break you. We want here droppers. 3, 4, 5. So each of these droppers is going to be filled with a single item. and it's going to be a named item, and I'm just going to name you Avatos. Probably not Living Arc Brick, just whatever it is I decide to use. Now in the middle here, place a little block there. Let's grab our hoppers. So what this is going to do is, once I press a button on the front there, it's going to send its item to this middle hopper. Middle hopper is going to have a item node underneath it here from Blood Magic, and I'm also going to have a bunch of item nodes underneath these guys, the droppers. So what's going to happen is the droppers are going to be filled automatically with the named item. The hopper back here is going to take the item that comes into it, and he's basically going to just send it, well, the node there is going to send it down to a base. I'd mentioned before that I'm going to have a little side project in the little, what's it called, the archaeology area. That's going to be where I'm storing every single one of these attunement altars. And I'm going to be right back because there is a dump truck outside that is beeping. I went ahead and finished up the two little pods here, and I put on some oak fancy signs, Mineralis, Horologium, Octans, Butes, and Fornax on this side, and then the other 5 over there. Yeah, just the same setup as I had before, just that I took out that wall because I haven't decided what I want this whole area to look like. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the setup up here, except for a bunch of blood nodes that'll go underneath here. But before we can do that, we need to clear out a bit of space. We need to clear out the actual area where these guys are going to be stored. So let's get digging. Down here in our archaeology area, I've got 2 little hallways here, one that side and one this side. This is kind of a temporary one, it just goes down to the little door area. And then this side here, this will be a different wall. Going down here, we have where our main area for storing the attunement altars is. So we've got the area kind of counted off here, we've got the size we need. Now we get to dig down quite a ways. Well, I'm not entirely sure if this is actually a good idea or not, and I'm not also sure if I actually have enough room. But it's at least a start. We've got a nice little big hole here. Little big hole. Words. Let's light up the walls here. Not that it really matters, because things can't spawn on the wall itself, but it just makes it look a little more uniform. Anyway, I have a small little hole over here, which I think is going to be kind of a control room. Again, size, I didn't measure that out. Pretty much the only thing I actually somewhat measured is the Y and Z dimensions here. I want it to be able to have 1 stack of altars here and 1 stack on this side. So let's figure out what we actually need to do to build this. Let's start off with the basics. We need a floor to actually put everything on. So for now, I lost my bottom stairs here because the bound pickaxe there. It's very handy, but it also can break things. So let me place a little bit here as well so I can get actually down to a floor. So I need to figure out how much space I need. I have 2 options here, and it really comes down to how much work I want to do. If I use, so my plan is to use translocators, or translocation, no, that is not the word. What is this? Teleposer. There we go. So with the reinforced teleposition focus, and this thing here is, I believe, the 3rd tier. Let me just double check that. Yeah, you are the 3rd tier because the blood shard. That can do a 5x5 area. It's actually the same thing we're using upstairs. In fact, that wood block is where the little arcane ear is sitting. So I cannot go above that, and I don't want to accidentally take out that floor. So that can do a 5x5. So if I leave, let's leave 1 air gap here just to make sure that we have a little buffer. And we're gonna just grab some stone, which I think I just threw back in. Yeah, yep, words. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right? No, 1 more. Keep flight up. We want 1 layer down because that will give us, we can place our teleposer here, and that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 above it. I actually want that one further down, don't I? Yep, I do. So this is going to be our floor for our redstone and teleposers. So that's going to work. Break all this out because that doesn't matter. So we need teleposers here, and we need a floor for the actual altar itself above that. So let me get some quartz. Alright, I've got this laid out on my other screen here, so let's flight, please. Come on. Alright, so I've got it laid out, and let's go ahead and start laying some blocks. So this here is where the redstone and the teleposers are going to be sitting on, so this one needs to exist. And then my plan is actually to have a 3-block high gap here. So I'll have, 2 high block. So I'll have, for instance, teleposer here, I don't have any on me, an air gap, and then the actual layer of sooty marble on top of that. That lets me be able to walk around underneath here for setting stuff up, because there's going to be a lot of walking back and forth here. Then we have our sooty marble up there, and we also will have room on top of that, just to have a little bit of air space to walk around on top as well. So let's go ahead and lay down these guys here. We need lots of stone. So I'm not entirely sure how I can't remember how I counted this out actually. So I'm hoping that I made enough space to have a one block here so I can close this off, because I don't really want that exposed the whole time. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. Yep. 11, I said. 12, 13, 14, 15. So I believe that should do it. That gives me, I think I counted that out right. So it's 15 by 15. There'd be a layer of white here. And then that's 16, 17, 18, 19 is the little edges that pop out. So yeah, 15 by 15 area. We get to fill that in. And I think, let's keep our flight going. I should definitely use the ritual for that. So that does give us enough room to put a wall over here. In fact, I can probably bump it over one as well. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's break this guy here. So it'll have an air gap here so I can move around a little bit. And 15 to there, which gives me room down the middle here for some control, some redstone, all that stuff. And I'll have 2 towers of the sooty stone. We've got kind of the basic structure laid out here. The dirt blocks are going to be our teleposers. We've got our 15 by 15 area above us here. It'll be filled in, of course, but yeah, ran out of stone. Yeah, so let's figure out the redstone. We've got our redstone box here. I definitely want a ton of redstone paste. Maybe some regular redstone as well, and some slime balls just in case. I'm going to definitely need some repeaters. And just to do double checking, let's get some pistons as well. Then I can replace the teleposers with, I'll use these instead of the dirt block. That way I can check and make sure that they're actually getting powered properly. So let's fill all these guys in. You, go back to you. Okay, so I don't think it really matters the order that I do this in, but yeah, so I'm going to get a signal, presumably, you know, I could actually put this signal right here. So I'll have a corpora crystal cube and a comparator coming out of that. Let me get, you don't go there, redstone. We need 1 comparator, so let's grab that as well. So comparator goes here, roughly. He's going to only send a signal of 1 coming out of here, though. It'll either be 0 or 1. That's pretty much the only state he'll be able to be. So let's get a repeater. Place you there. And you know what? We don't have... Let's get a lever, or a torch, that'll work. I just want something so I can visualize how far this goes. So if I go like this, you're not going to do anything. Teleposer won't either. So that itself isn't going to work, but I can definitely use redstone paste instead. Yeah, so that works. So let's lay this out here. That wasn't really what I wanted, but this will work. Now it'd be great if this will reach all the way over here. It does, awesome. Okay, so don't need you. Okay. I think what I can just do here actually is just stick a repeater. Doesn't really matter where. Do it here. And one here as well. Now that should work. Let me finish that. Okie dokie. I think we've got it set up here. Let's replace this with the leverage so I can toggle it. So I think this is all hooked up. So that one is a little delayed over there, but I don't think it really matters. I mean, it should be kind of almost a wave here of how it goes through. Yeah, I think that'll work quite nicely. So I will replace these guys with teleposers and yeah, fill this in. So pretty much I'm going to kind of do most of this off camera, so it's going to be pretty much just do this over and over and over. I hope I have enough room for all this, but we will see. Yeah, so it's going to be kind of a big project off camera, but I should hopefully have something to show you in the next clip. One thing I might want to actually add to my system here is teleposers. Let's get a stack gold ingot, because these are honestly quite a pain to make. So you have your teleposer, your teleposition focus in the middle, which is not stackable, of course. And then you have a bunch of ender pearls on both sides, lots of gold. So this guy here is made in the altar. luckily, I think the teleposer itself stacks. Can I shift it? Okay, so that at least lets me, if I hit Shift and W, then I'm able to at least do that. But yeah, that's it's gonna be annoying, especially because I need to make 9 of these per, plus the 9 that'll be up top, which is kind of annoying. Double click, yeah. So we're gonna be doing some crafting here. Up top here, this guy is still working away. It's the last one here. We've got 545 buckets here, but we need to put some teleposers up here too. What I've done is I dug a hole underneath here and filled in a bit more with dirt, got a nice little layer, and filled in here with our teleposers. So this is, I believe it's spaced the exact same as it is downstairs. We've got, what is it, 4 blocks between each of these, so there's 9 teleposers per 15 by 15 area. These guys here, I don't actually need any redstone. These are simply receiving, so there's no focus in here, there's nothing. Basically down below, when it gets the redstone, it'll say, hey, I'm linked to this guy, and it'll grab his 5 by 5 area, or 5 by 5 by 5. Yeah, so that should be working. However, this guy's still going. We are up to 622 buckets here. He's going strong. So it's pretty much just playing the waiting game at this point of waiting for this guy to run out. I don't really want to waste him because, I mean, Starlight is a thing. Yeah, so we're going to let that go, and we're going to work on kind of a side project, which is actually right here. So I wanted to kind of show the cross section here of we've got our red string interceptor, dropper, and hopper. And let me go, and I don't actually have my blood nodes on me, but we do need to hook all those up. So let me go, this button. Let me go grab some. Down in our ultra storage room here, we have a corporea crystal cube. Words. In here, I've got a little gem there that I named Avatos. We currently have none, which makes sense because there's nothing actually linked up to this corporea spark. But in this chest here, we have 5 of everything. 5 fornax, butas, octans, yeah, the whole set of them. And I'm also going to need here's my routing node, so I need an output routing node. I need that for up top. I need, let's see, a master node. That will go down here. And I think, do I need an input down here? I need some inputs. I need some, I'm just going to grab all these. I do, however, need more filters. But, yeah, we're pretty much set. So we have here our master routing node, 1 and 2. Is this where I want it? Doesn't actually matter. Let's see, I should have some chests in here. Do I not? Of course I don't. Hopper actually is what I need. So, how does this work? Press a button up top. The object, which is going to be one of these guys named, is going to be sent to a blood node network, which is going to then send it down here. So, yeah, master routing nodes, these are good, that's fine, doesn't really matter where those are. But what we can do then is take a hopper going into a thing, and yeah, that's pretty much it. We just need an output routing node on top of you. So what this is going to do is once it gets anything, it's going to send it in. So Mr. Hopper, you're going to send it to, ideally a chest. I guess I can just use another hopper here. Hopper, doesn't really matter. And then next to you, we want an input routing node. That's it. Yeah, so the way this works is these are going to be 2 separate networks. This one here is going to take from upstairs, send it down here. When the item falls through this hopper, then it will trigger a corporeal spark. Let me go grab a spark, which is probably too far away from that, but whatever. Oop, let's not walk off the edge. So, this guy here, he gets a corporeal spark on top of you. Yes, shift right click, there we go. So basically this guy's just going to pulse once that passes through. I only want it to pulse once. It's just going to be there for a split second. I don't have a master spark on me. But it's going to be there for a split second. Once it lands into this hopper, then the input routing node will send it back upstairs. So let me get some master nodes and a bunch of chests. Alrighty, we've got our master spark. Let's go ahead and take a dropper. It doesn't really have to be anything in particular, but it does need to be somewhere in between here. You have our master spark. So if I take my, that's the wrong chest, I want this one here for my living rod, whatever it's called. Where are you? You in my Hand of Ender. Here we go, the Wand of the Forest. So this guy here, if I right click, we should see that these are now all connected. So what we're going to do is we're going to, I think, break this repeater for now. and break that little spot as well. And let's get some redstone. Specifically, I want a note block. Actually, not a note block, redstone lamp. So what this is going to do, is that going to be good enough? Yeah. So let me take an Avatos, just to check that this wall works. Avatos, there we go. So basically, we have this as one network, and let's just toss an Avatos in here. You go here, and that light should flicker. If it gets picked up. You, go in. Go in. Fine. Kind of hard to see, but it is off the screen there. If I drop you in, did you work? You did not work. Why did you not work? Okay, let's try it like this. Corporeal spark on this guy. So it'll stay in this one a little bit longer, because the thing is, once it goes into this, if I send, let's see, a single stone, it's there for not very long, but it does sit in this one for a little bit longer before the blood node is able to actually pick it up. So let's try this again. Avatos, Avatos. In fact, let's do something instead of a redstone lamp, which is a little hard to see. If we do something like piston. Piston should work pretty well. Just a regular piston. I don't want a sticky piston here. You can go there. Should be fine. So if this thing comes out at all, it should work, right? Let's try it. So into you. There we go. Piston extends. And then it will then retract. Well, it'll turn off the redstone anyway, once it is no longer in here. So that works. Avatos goes there. And just to be safe, let me double check that this works with the naming. So if I take a Bootez, or Boots, whatever, if I toss you in here instead, that should not send the signal. Perfect. Piston's not moving. So yeah, that is all working. That is great. This is all set up. I just need to place in an actual altar. Well, that is still processing upstairs, so let's go ahead and link these. Master routing node, you can go here. Awesome. And you get set to this one. So these are two separate networks. This in here is the one that's going back to the dispensers upstairs. So let's link this. So I have the going to dispensers, and let's run upstairs. So I've got this is kind of my little elevator area that I'd had long ago, goes down to bedrock. But yeah, nice little handy little elevator. Let's go over here and run up to base. I do like the Starlight, what is this? Starlight teleporter thingy. Really nice. The problem is you have to be like right on it to be able to actually make it work. There we go. Cool. Now we are up top. Ta-da! Let's see, are you still processing? Still processing. Okay, easy enough. While we're up here, we have our output routing nodes. Let's go ahead and place these in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These guys will need to have filters on them, and I don't have filters on me, I only have one. But we can at least link one of these. In fact, let's link Avatos, which is not that side. Which one's Avatos? Avatos is this one here. Okay, so let's go inside. And again, you get there, 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 and there. And Mr. U are Avatos, so up we place in our precise filter, and you get Avatos. Where are you, Avatos? There we go. And we want all the Avatos. So at this point, I don't want to hit the button because that's going to make that all work, but I don't want to teleport you away yet. So we wait. Yay. We're putting the last of our filters in here. So you go here. This was a Mineralis, if I recall. Mineralis, awesome. Next one, I don't remember, but I think I have it in order here. Mineralis, Horologium, awesome. Up, we want you, only one of you. Let's see, Horologium, cool. It's kind of a tedious project here to get this all set up, but once it's done, I think it's going to be quite interesting. You, again, only one. And an octens was that? Cool. 2 left. Let's see, we need Bootez and then Fornax. So, up, filter. Where are you? Boots, Bootez, whatever. And last but not least, up, filter, and Fornax. Cool. That's all set up. So what that's going to do is it's going to fill up the droppers with our named gem here. When you hit the button, it'll send it into the hopper. Hopper then goes down into the input routing node, which is all linked up down below. That will send it into the Corporea system, which will then recognize that, hey, you hit Decidia, which will then basically just enable that teleporter. Right now, we only have one thing hooked up, which is Avitas. In fact, we don't have really anything down there. And if I hit it, it'll probably break something here. I don't really want to mess around with teleposers and collector crystal binding things. Not sure if that's going to break. It might not. I'm not really sure. I don't feel like testing it. That being said, I also don't really have anything else to do for that. Avitas is all set up over here, not over here. So yeah, just more waiting. Well, one thing that we can do while we're waiting is I can just take a dispenser, doesn't really matter what this is actually, any sort of inventory, and let's go ahead. I need an input routing node. You can go there, cool. Node router, you are going to be linked up to these guys, just for a little bit. So if I throw this in here, that should disappear, and really all these. So that's going to take each of those. Interesting, I wonder if that's going to be renaming them, because it's taking 8 at a time. That might be an issue. You, Decidia, everyone has 5, 5, 5, and 5. I think that worked. That's just kind of weird how it took it like that. Unless it just takes 5 items in general and doesn't have to be the same type of item, which is pretty useful actually. Yeah, so I've got 5 and everything, so these are all ready. I don't need you anymore, so let's break you. And yeah, still waiting on our starlight. Hurry up and be done. Well, we are still waiting on that crystal, so I started to actually build up all those altars. And I quickly ran out of marble. So yeah, I went exploring. I broke down a couple extra altars that I'd found, a bunch of those small little ones, and then I found this place. So this isn't actually Astral Sorcery Marble, this is Quark Marble. But if I hit U on this, it seems to be tied through the ore dictionary, which means this is essentially just regular marble, which is awesome because this place is huge. This is a giant sphere. What Quark seems to do a lot is it adds in very large spheres of various ores, or not ores, but rock. I had a giant limestone one near my base, but I found this one here, which is awesome. The not so awesome thing is I'm very far away. Scroll the other direction, please. Oh, that's as far out as it scrolls. Yeah, we are quite a ways away. I think here we are. Yeah. I will definitely have to look and see if I can find another of these anywhere closer, but for now I'm going to bookmark this area, and I think I'm going to use this. I might build up one of those, what is it called, the teleporters from Astral Sorcery. I might put one of those out here as well, just because a nice quarry for marble is going to be a really good thing. Finally, at long last, we finally finished off our last crystal. We have 710 buckets of the starlight, which is amazing. I'm still going to figure out an automation setup for that, but this is pretty cool on its own. Now I'm hoping, and I'm pretty sure I probably have to log out to actually get this to work, but if I just break this crystal, that should... Oh, it actually did work to dim all of those. Awesome. So let's clean up a little bit. We don't need any of this anymore, and this is actually all going to be an actual altar, so we need to do some cleanup. Well, my timing, of course, is impeccable. I've got everything cleared out here. I even got rid of this altar, and it's noon, which means I can't actually lay out an altar because I don't really know where anything is. So we're going to work on something completely different. One thing I discovered is mycelium. Mycelium, if you hold shift, you can see it has the only aspect I don't have yet, which is Vidium. Because I don't actually have any tainted areas here yet. The little sky island I have over the Thaumcraft area, it hasn't been infested yet, but I'd still like mycelium. So what are we going to do? This is a kind of just temporary area. I just need some place that wouldn't spread mycelium elsewhere, but be nicely contained and not get grass either. So what we're going to do, we're just going to fill in a nice little area. And I'm really just using the completely arbitrary, that's where my living rock was. Let's break you. And let's put, I don't need light yet. So, Botania, pasture seeds. If you take a pasture seed and a spider eye, you get a mutated pasture seed, which, if I recall correctly, gets us, that's not mycelium. Which one's mycelium? Are you golden? Scorched, vivid? I could have sworn one of these gets me mycelium. Boreal gets me, I want to say that's the Podzol. Dry. Huh. Well, fine. Never mind then. That's kind of weird. Aha. Mushroom plus mana pool equals infestation spore. That's what I needed instead. Wonder if I can find a use for this purple. So, like I was saying, you go on your dirt little platform here, place down your infestation spores, and you get mycelium! Yay! Exactly what I planned the first time. Anyway, it's almost night, which means we should be able to start using this. Let's go ahead and put our constellation paper here. It is set for Avitos, and we do get our little sparkles. Awesome. So, let's get our Spectral Relays, and let's place them down. And I believe our last one goes right here. Yes? No? Did I miss one? You're there. You got blue sparklies. You have blue sparklies. So do you. Ah, did I miss one right here? Why are you sparkling? Everything's lined up. You don't get one. That's weird. Aha, I missed a spot. You go here. There we go. Avitos. So now that that is all set up, let's see. Avitos. Bye-bye. You should have worked. You didn't work. Okay, so who broke what? If I go here and I place in, I don't have an Avitos on me. I think it would have worked. I'm not really sure why it didn't, actually. You're reading that. Everything should be hooked up because it returned to its dispenser as well. Let's just try that again. Alrighty. Take two. Avitos. Yes, no. Now if I go real quick here, can I do that? 4, 5. So it does go through the system. But you're not teleporting. Why are you not teleporting? Let's go ahead and grab one of these, a couple of these just to make sure. And let's run downstairs. Again. We can hit the water. Yes. Awesome. There should be, it might just be something where it's, let's not glitch through here. It might be something where it's going through maybe too fast. It could also be that when I'm too far away, it doesn't really recognize that it's working. Let's try this. Toss one in. Everything lit up. Everything lit up, but nothing happened. Everything is linked. Yes, you've all got that. Why did that not work? Let's try this. If I just extend that, that should make it last a little bit longer. Toss you in. Everything lit up. Nothing happened. Alrighty, I think I got it. So, after quite a bit of testing, here's what I came up with. First off, repeater, we're going to put you here, and we'll get to that in a second. But the main fix was this here. I needed to put 2 of these corporeal sparks, one on each of these. So it'll just continue as just one solid signal as far as over here is concerned, but it makes the signal itself last a bit longer. Now, the reason for this was I found that I could press the button a grand total of once because, well, because of vanilla redstone. It's kind of a weird thing. So this signal was lasting long enough for it to continue through the repeater, but it got stuck on. I'm not really sure how or why. It's kind of just a weird vanilla redstone quirk, I think. It's like a 1-tick pulse into a comparator, into a repeater. The repeater stayed on. I'm not really sure how that worked, but it did. Anyway, by putting a space in here, then it kind of ensures that the signal exists before it continues. I'm not really sure exactly how that works, but this did work. Yes, so that's all hooked up there. And in addition to that, I got really busy off screen. We've got all these in. We've got all of the altars in place now. We've got all of these wired up. Everything is all hooked up except for one last thing, and that is this one. Horologium. As it is right here. Yeah. I haven't actually discovered Horologium yet, which is a little disappointing, actually. It's a really powerful one that can use to speed up tile entities, from what I can understand, which seems extremely overpowered, so of course I want to use it, but yeah, I haven't discovered it yet. So we're going to keep an eye out for that to work. But let's run upstairs here. Come on. Is it... So it is a... I've also been trying to scan the Thaumcraft moon cycles here. So let me grab one of those real quick here. Don't need anything from here. I need this. Paper and scribing tools. Let's grab our little thermometer here. And let's fly up so I can actually scan you. You work? Yes. Moon 8, waning gibbous. And let's just kind of spin around as well to try to scan everything. I haven't quite figured out the system for that, but there we go, 5. So I got my 4 quadrants and a moon. So that is all I need for that. Let's drop that off here. You can go in. Oh, I already have 3 of you. Not that useful. And store my paper, store my scribing tools. Anyway, like I said, let's go upstairs to our astral sorcery area. I tweaked that a little bit. It only had 2 of the elevators working for quite a while, actually. But now I have 4, so that works much better. Let's teleport. And I also did a little bit of work up here. You can see I now have, this is kind of a temporary, I like it. I'm not entirely sure. I want a bit more depth, but it works for now. What are you? You look, I can never remember which one's which. Probably Dissidia? Hope. Yes, it was Dissidia. As you can hear there as well, I also put in some sound blocks there, snow blocks, so when I press this, bing, nice little beep, pops right up. This is still currently a dumb system, so I have to remember which one's actually pressed and set it back to blank before I continue. Otherwise, it's going to kind of mix up everything, which is a little annoying, but I do have plans for how to fix that. But that's probably going to be the next episode because, yeah, this is kind of a long episode at this point. In fact, I'm actually a day late. Today is Monday, which is when I try to get my videos out. But we've got a system working here. Quite happy with it. It does work with more than just Dissidia. In fact, when that comes up, Dissidia, go away. And let's go with octans. I don't actually know what you are. Bing. Pops right up. Awesome. Yeah, I like when systems work. But yeah, we are out of time for this episode. I'm going to call it here, and I have quite a few products still. I need to get rid of that. I need to move you. Probably over there somewhere. Need to move you. Need to do a bit more decorating. Playing around with fountains and stuff. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. This is quite a in-depth explanation of the redstone and everything that went into this actual build. It's quite complicated, but I'm very proud of this. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye-bye.